Things are looking to be even more hectic for President Yoon now that he has to brace for two simultaneous trials. We discuss more with legal expert Joung Hwang. Good morning. So busy weeks ahead for President Yoon now that the holidays are over. What do you think about the prospect that the court will speed up the impeachment trial, considering that it's the trial of a sitting president and that he is under detention?
I'm not sure if the Constitutional Court will speed up the process. I mean, until now, they've been at a pretty, fast, brisk speed. And I think they'll just continue on. And I think they made it clear that their priority is the impeachment trial because, we don't have a president. And, not just that, the kind of charges against President Yoon is insurrection. In the criminal trial, basically he faces either the death penalty or life imprisonment. So I think the Constitutional Court kind of realizes the gravity of the situation and would like to wrap up this impeachment trial as fast as possible. And I think we're seeing that in motion right now.
Right, especially to fill up that leadership vacancy. Now, I do have to point out witnesses are scheduled to appear again this week. What aspects will the Constitutional focus on, do you think?
So last week, we saw President Yoon and his lawyers tell a lot of stories about how President Yoon was justified in declaring martial law, and he was not really serious about with the martial law the decree and so forth. And a lot of them have actually conflicted with what we know from various prosecutorial investigations that have taken place of all the generals who participate in the martial law. So basically, we'll see these witnesses directly contradicting various stories we heard from President Yoon and his legal team, and we'll see how they respond.
Well, President Yoon is actively participating in his impeachment trial. Do you think he'll appear in person at the criminal court? I mean, how actively do you think he'll participate in the criminal trial?
Right. I mean, that's kind of a tricky thing to predict because of two kind of conflicting factors at play here. One, President Yoon likes to talk. We've seen them. And two, I have a feeling that President Yoon and his lawyers have kind of given up on both law and fact, and they're actually focusing on kind of riling up their base, which means that these factors contribute to President Yoon participating in whatever forum that he's given. On the other hand, if you're a criminal lawyer, basically the basic advice is do not testify, basically. Like in most cases, it will do you bad, basically. It's not a good idea. And President Yoon might be a little bit overconfident being a lifelong prosecutor that he knows the system, and he might be, falling into the trap of hubris and might actually say something that he shouldn't. So his lawyers might dissuade him from actually, testifying in the criminal trial. So there are conflicting forces at play here. So in the end, I'm not really sure where I come out on that. We'll find out soon enough, I suppose.
Right, like you said, he has been vocal, but let's see how vocal he is going to be in his criminal trial. Now, like our Kim Do-yeon reported, President Yoon is set to receive visits, including from his own party leadership in the coming hour at 11 a.m. today. There is a limit to the number of visits and visitors. Do you think he'll receive all of them in the coming days, maybe even weeks?
Well, I suspect President Yoon probably finds his current accommodation very uncomfortable. And if you sort of look at past kind of things that happen with especially the Korean chaebol CEOs and owners, they tend to receive lawyer visits for a very long time so that they don't have to sit in their cell. Instead, they can look at in the conference rooms reserved for these visiting hours. So I'm kind of suspecting that President Yoon would like to, go take similar route, trying to avoid being stuck inside his cell as much as possible.
Well,
I mean, it is a big difference between presidential residence and a prison cell.
Definitely. Well, that means his wife, the First Lady, Kim Gun-hee, can also visit him. We shouldn't expect her. We shouldn't expect to see her in anytime soon. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I wonder what Lady Kim Gun-hee's state of mind is. I mean, at least the public reason being given by the presidential office is that she doesn't want to be seen in public. But there are ways to visit the prison, trying to keep confidentiality and all. Like, is she at all trying to put some kind of distance between herself and the President Yoon? I would like to know. I mean, there's no kind of leaks about kind of news about her state of mind these days. So I'm kind of curious about what her kind of future predictions and her emotions about the whole situation is. I have no inside information on this matter.
Alrighty, sir. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.